Welcome back, guys, to another vlog. Got a day today where we're not at 38 degrees C, so I'm pretty buzzing to be getting back at it.
We begin this week's vlog based in the Algarve, plotted up here in the shade near Villamora. I had my kitchen unit out once again, as I wanted to give it all a good clean and sand down, making sure all the mould was gone.
So these are the legs here that I'm going to try and put onto the unit, but I'm just trying to work out how, because need to be fixed somehow with these. I might just drill them a tight hole and then just screw them in. I think that's the best thing I can think of.
The main reason I wanted to put these legs on the unit is to raise the unit off the floor to allow air to circulate and therefore reduce and stop the mould. I decided to put the unit back in for now, something to be revisited at a future point. And with that, the long anticipated ITV inspection was due, so I headed across the border into Spain once again. On arrival, more or less, had some time to strip down the van and put all my stuff in boxes temporarily. On one hand, it's quite frustrating to keep having to dismount everything every 6 months, but on the other, it does give me an opportunity to do a bit of a spring clean and get things back in order after.
Mate, you are not going to believe this, right? So I am literally out an hour from going to this ITV. I've been waiting for a week and I've had no issues whatsoever with anything that I've picked up, that I've known about, whatever. I've just driven past someone, I've gone boom boom with the horn, and the horn ain't working. So I'm trying to work out if it's the problem with this horn or whether or not it's a connection issue. Mate, let's see, let's get this on 12 volts on this and see if it's any good. Right, so we're going to put 12 volts on this direct, see if the horn works.
As you can see, I got no response here from the horn, but a friend of mine, my go-to engineer Steve, told me there's a screw on the back that you can adjust, which allows to change the pitch and sound of the horn. And with a few turns of a rusty screw, I was able to get it back working, luckily.
Right guys, we've managed to get everything back together. I think I've sorted it. There we go, look, yeah. It just needed a bit of adjustment on the actual horn, but just not ideal that it's happened an hour before, you know, the ITV. Yes guys, so the horn is back working. We're heading now to the ITV inspection. Let's, it's totally one of them ones, isn't it? Fingers crossed. It's a bit of a lottery this, to be fair. I've taken out all the brackets and, well, the screws that hold everything in place, but I'm not taking everything out because, to be fair, like, that's the whole design that I'm trying to go for, like a modular design. Easy to go in, easy to go out, but like I said, it's a lottery. Wing mirror needs to be changed, that's one thing he said. And then also he said rodamientos again. Mate, I don't know how many times I've changed these wheel bearings on these front two wheels. There's got to be some reason why these wheel bearings keep going. Like, that was when I broke down in Bilbao. that last September. So looks like a foul, which is fine. Pretty used to it. But yeah.
And so with that, I decided to head towards Sevilla, over the bridge and down to Estepona, via of course my favourite provincia de Cádiz.
Back in Playa de Cristo. It's very busy today. This time of year, to be fair, it is relatively packed out from now on in, because the weather's just unreal. And the actual ocean here, even considering there's a lot of people getting in and out, it's actually really clear. It reminds me every time I get in the sea how grateful I am for it. Oh. I've got to repair the kitchen unit, funny enough. I noticed the floor had dropped, which was a bit of a bummer to see. The floor had just completely dropped out, so I need to put some, I don't know, glue or screws or whatever I can to get it back, because yeah, the repairs that I did the other day haven't worked. So back to the drawing board. So this floor has broke. You can see there, it's come away, which is not ideal at all after all the work that I put into it.
Just done my yoga practice this morning, feeling good. Got a couple of bits to do to get through the ITV. We've got to do the front left wheel bearing, and got to change a wing mirror which was smashed in YZZ. So yeah, that's the two things that I've got to tackle to get through the ITV. And then it's decision time. What am I going to do in terms of getting back to England, because I've got to get back on the 22nd. So it's whether or not I fly back or drive back. If I drive back, I need to get going really, because it's going to be at least 10 days drive. It's already coming. The days are already flying through. And right when this is all going on, it's boiling hot, blue skies here. So it's not easy. It's not easy to think it, but I've got to tackle one thing at a time and trust the process.
So just regarding the wheel bearings that keep going, you guys explaining here?
Maybe. I have no idea, because I've had the same problem with my T4. I'm gonna change it. And I know if I'm gonna know what the guy has to do the proper job. So if you make the suspension for the bearing, for all the suspension, the hole in the bearing in the suspension is like this, and the hole in the car is like this. If you don't adjust it properly, so you have this suspension
like
part.
So a bit of insight there into what I need to do regarding the wheel bearing. But for now, I was back on the kitchen unit, realising quite quickly that I needed to replace this floor altogether. Once I'd got the old floor out, there was some cleaning to do with a lot of the old glue. Had to be very mindful as I didn't want to damage the structure. At this point, I took out the old piece of vinyl and had to sand away all the old glue and get it prepared, ready to go back in. This was of course quite a tedious task, but as always making a big effort to utilise the materials I have to hand. I managed to find a piece of wood knocking about, which I could use to formulate a new piece of flooring. I used the old piece of vinyl as a template and cut the new piece to size. I was fairly happy with how it turned out, seemed to fit pretty much straight in. Made sure to use plenty of screws and glue to keep it all in place nicely. I finished it off by putting the legs back, also making some additional ones out of wood. But as the day progressed, I ran out of memory on my phone, so I couldn't quite capture the final result. Here is the gap that I was speaking about, which will act as a bit of a ventilation underneath the unit. Next morning I was back on the road, over into the polygoner to get the new wing mirror sorted.
بخير مزيان
الحمد لله الحمد لله.
سلام خويا
الله يبارك فيك الله يبارك فيك.
الله يبارك فيك لاباس عليك
الحمد لله.
الله يحفظك
الحمد لله.
Estamos aquí in Estepona, and I just couldn't help but notice this guy walking through. Estamos ahora haciendo una conversación de Marruecos mzian, ¿no?
Sí, sí.
Alhamdulillah, Maghreb.
Alhamdulillah.
¿Tiene mensaje por la gente de Marruecos? ¿Tiene un mensaje?
Yo digo a todos los paisanos míos, a جميع المغاربة ولاد بلادي باش يرحبوا بجميع الناس اللي كيجوا عندنا من الأجانب اللي كيجوا عندنا المغرب، يرحبوا بهم. وهذا الأخ هذا راه واحد من الأجانب اللي جاوا المغرب وكيشكروا المغرب نظرا لحسن المعاملة ديال المغاربة معاه، نظرا لحسن الفرحة والضحكة ديال الناس، قال لك يعجبوهم. ومشى قال لك لمراكش، مشى للشمال ديال المغرب، مشى لأكادير، قال لك الناس كلهم تما طيبين ومرحبا به في اي لحظه. مرحبا اي مهاجر، اي واحد بغى يجي للمغرب مرحبا به. حنا كنرحبوا بجميع الناس كاملين.
مغرب الحمد لله. مغرب الحمد لله خويا.
الحمد لله.
الله يحفظك الله يحفظك خويا.
مرحبا بكم.
الله يحفظك.
Having been into town to fill up my basket full of vegetables, it was good to get back to cooking on the beachside. The most common thing I do when I'm cooking is just to chuck all the vegetables that I got in the pan, cook it all off and either serve with rice or pasta.
So I lived to fight another day. Managed to get the wheel bearing adjusted. Didn't need to change the wheel bearing. I have a spare set of wheel bearings now, if ever I need them. The confusion for me, all in all, was that yesterday I took it to a guy to look at, and he turned around and said that I needed to change the arms on the suspension, and they're like expensive items, you know. He just had a look and, you know, said that. And then 6 or 7 garages I went to all just said I'm too busy. The best I could get was tomorrow at an appointment. And then yeah, I just found this guy, and he just literally went bang, jacked it up, adjusted it a tiny bit, and went yeah. Paid him €20 for 2 minutes work. Fair enough. He's still taking his time to jack it up, but it was all like minor. I mean, I'm not saying there's other stuff that needs to be done. But yeah, man, we've got the ITV booked for tomorrow, so we could be good to go.
ITV inspection, take 2.
So guys, I managed to pass the ITV, which I was super happy about. No thanks to everyone that donated through the crowdfund to help me get through. I've updated my Linktree page with all the ways to help. Not least, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop a like on the video and some comments as to what you want to see in the future or what you thought of this video. A huge thank you to everyone for this week. It's been amazing, but we're on to the next one, heading towards 3.